What's up, y'all? Ivan here from the Ivan Rides YouTube channel. Today we're doing the 1,000 mile review of the Handlworks BAC855 for the Zooz 750. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. It's good to have you on board today. Alright, before we get completely focused in on this ride, I want to go through 3 quick disclaimers. Number 1, this is a video about modding, so please do us all a favor. If you are not a trained professional, do not attempt to repair or modify lithium-ion batteries. Number 2, this video is going to be recorded under the assumption that you already know what the ASI BAC855 is and who the guys at Handlworks are. And finally, even though I am an affiliate of Handlworks, the opinions expressed in this video are my own. Handlworks did not tell me what to say, I was not compensated to make this video, and I did not have to submit the script or this video for their approval. Now that the disclaimers are done, let's go over how this video is going to break down. There are going to be 4 parts. Part 1, we're going to go over the current build and how I use the bike. Part 2, we're going to go over the things that I've liked. Part 3, we're going to go over the things that I don't like. And part 4, we're going to go through my final thoughts and my conclusions. In my opinion, in order for this review video to be truly useful to you, you need to know exactly what's on my bike and how I've used it. Since this is a video about the controller, let's talk about the powertrain real quick. The powertrain is the battery, the controller, and the motor. On this particular build, this is still the stock 48 volt 16 amp hour battery that comes with the bike. Also, this is still the original 750 watt motor that comes with the Ultra Urban 750s. Now that's a really important detail that we'll go over later on in this video. And that means the only thing that's been replaced on this powertrain is the stock controller, and I've replaced that with the Handlworks BAC855. 2 other honorable mentions here that have been replaced is the stock throttle. It's been replaced with the famous Polish trigger throttle, and the original brakes have been replaced with the Tektro Dorado. The whole goal of this build is to take my commuter bike and give it a little bit more of a punch. I wanted to be able to keep up with traffic comfortably while also having fun. So that means this is not a top speed racing build. If you wanted to do that, you're gonna need to replace a few more components on this bike. And as my commuter bike, I've now put 1,800 miles on the BAC855. 650 of those miles were done during the development and testing of the prototype, and 1,100 miles were put on the actual controller that you see on this bike now. With all that time and all those miles, I think I now have a strong enough opinion to tell you about what I like and what I don't like. So let's get on the bike and let's talk about what I liked. Part 2, what I've liked over the last 1,000 miles. The first thing that comes to mind is durability and reliability. Like I said, this is my commuter bike, and also the Zooz and the BAC855 has been tasked with replacing the Nami Klima as my wet weather PEV. So it gets a lot thrown at it. We've experienced everything from brutal Arctic cold to scorching hot New York City summers. We've even ridden in snow, sleet, and there was one time we got caught in like hurricane-like thunderstorms. And I'm happy to report that despite sending it through all of that within the last year, we have not had to replace the controller and we have not had to replace the display. It is New York City certified. There's also this peace of mind that comes with just knowing that the bike is going to turn on and it's going to go when you need it. So kudos to Handlworks, whatever magic sauce that they did here, it is durable as all heck. The second thing that I've really loved over the past year is the pedal assist. Handlworks did such an incredible job with the pedal assist feel that I don't ever have to touch the throttle. The pedal assist feels super intuitive, super snappy, and very predictable, which is what you really want in a pedal assist style bikes. Now, for the people that are like, oh, I only use throttle, that's fine. But most of us here at the Zooz Club in NYC actually use the pedal assist quite a bit. Outside of the smooth delivery of power on the pedal assist, the thing that most of us Gen 2 and after Zooz owners like about it is the ability to exceed 20 miles per hour in different modes. Right now we were on mode 1, but because we are going to be joining traffic over here, we are going to be going into mode 2. Mode 1 will top out at 18 miles an hour, while mode 2 tops out at the stock Zooz 28 miles an hour. And it will keep going until you basically stop pedaling. So it's really nice to just be able to pedal and never use the throttle. Like, see right here, easy, 22, 24, 25 miles an hour. We've switched to mode 3. Mode 3 is still really, really easy to use and really intuitive, and the pedal assist feels natural. When you need that power right there, it is such a smooth delivery. I mean, there's a ton of torque. There's no reason as to why we can't keep up with traffic, but man, I tell you, that pedal assist, I absolutely love pedal assist. And the third thing that I've really liked over the past year is the one that most of y'all have probably been waiting for, is the increase in performance with the bike and how good that mid-range torque is. Since this is a controller modification, it's given that you're gonna get a little bit more oomph. But the thing that I've really enjoyed is, regardless of what mode you're in, whether it's mode 1, capping out at 18 miles an hour, just like at the pedal assist, it's still just as usable as mode 3. Like here, I've switched back to mode 1, and we're easily up to the top speed of 18 miles an hour. Now, the thing about this controller is it feels relatively the same from 0 to about 6 miles an hour. But from there, that's where you really start to feel the controller like pick up. And I also mentioned mid-range torque because that is really important riding here in New York City. There could be a moment where you're chilling here at, let's just say, 11 miles an hour, and something happens where you need to stop or you need to go. The good thing about the BAC855 is it's giving me a little bit of a pop. The reason I bring that up is because on the stock version of this bike, there was a little bit of a dead zone between, I believe it was 14 to 17 miles an hour, where if you're chilling and you're cruising and you mash that throttle, it doesn't do that. It just there's like a little bit of a delay, like maybe about, I would say, 1 or 2 seconds, and then the bike will very slowly take off. I really enjoy that there is that predictable power delivery, but also you have that extra oomph at your disposal. And the fourth thing that I've really liked over the past year is the ability to tune the bike through the Kilowatt app. Coming from the world of performance scooters like the Nami, one of my favorite things to do is to go into the P settings so that I can change the initial acceleration, the maximum motor output, the engine braking, and all of those fun things to customize the ride so that it's specifically tailored to the way I like to personally ride. Now, in full disclosure here, we were part of the development process of this controller, so out the box, the controller is basically already tuned to the way we like to ride here in New York City. But despite that, I have gone in there and made some changes to the throttle response time, the motor cutoff, and some of the multipliers on the different modes. I didn't really have to do much because again, they nailed the tuning on the 750 here. I do like having that option though. If I do ever change out my battery or make my motor bigger, I have the ability to kind of fine-tune that to the way I like. Now that we've gone through the things that I've liked, let's talk about the things that I don't like. And the first thing here that comes to mind is the BAC855 is a great gateway into starting and learning how to mod your bikes. For me, I was never really that big of a modder until I met Handlworks. Now, the reason why this is a dislike is because it has the potential to send you down the rabbit hole of modding. You start looking at your bike and you're like, all right, now that I've got the performance here, what else can I upgrade? And you're literally sitting there at night on the Powerful Lithium website, just looking at $1,000 batteries and $1,000 motors. So yeah, just be aware that this could potentially send you down the rabbit hole that I have officially fallen into. The rabbit hole is so deep that I have the BAC855 on this bike. I've built the 60 volt BAC2000 on the Super73 RX, and I am currently building a 60 volt BAC2000 for my new Super73 ZX build for the Expo. The second thing that I don't like is it has exposed the huge weak point of the motor. That's why I said earlier in this video we're gonna go discuss the motor in greater detail, because it was really important for you to know that the motor on this bike is still the original motor that came with this bike, and I haven't replaced it. The reason for that is the Zooz 750 motor has nylon gears in it. Now you could imagine what would happen to nylon gears when you increase the amount of power being delivered to it. Thankfully, I come from the world of performance scooters where you don't just mash a throttle. If you are on the Nami Bernie and you're on X mode and everything is maxed out and you're at a dead stop and you just mash the throttle, unless you know what you're doing, you are not going to have a good time, my friend. And that's kind of the thing that has really helped me increase the longevity of the motor on this bike is I don't mash the throttle when I start. Like right here, we're gonna switch to mode 3 because we're gonna go into some faster roads. But watch what I mean here. And here, like, we get going, and once we're rolling, we pin it. See? You let it roll a little bit, and then you pin it. Most of the power is within the 7+ miles an hour anyway, so let the bike get rolling, help it along, and when you're going, pin it and have fun. That is the most cost-effective and reasonable solution that I could come up with. There are 3 other solutions for you if you want to kind of avoid having to deal with that. Solution number 1 is get yourself a Thrillmatic motor from Zooz. Number 2, you can get yourself a 3 kilowatt or a 5 kilowatt motor from Powerful Lithium, but keep in mind you will likely need to also upgrade your battery, and in order to support these larger motors you will very likely need a larger controller than the BAC855. And the final option is you can buy a bulletproofed motor from Handlworks. And again, see, all this really ties back into the first point that I made of things that I don't like, because now you are down this rabbit hole of things that you could possibly improve. And the third thing that I didn't like over the past year is I have increased range anxiety on longer rides like group rides. And this is a rarer thing than being mindful of the motor, because I only really experience this range anxiety, or really bad range anxiety, is when I'm with my friends on group rides. Now, if I'm doing my daily commuting where I'm switching between mode 1 and 2, and I'm pedaling and I'm chilling, and occasionally I'll go into mode 3 so that I can ride with traffic instead of having to deal with the bike lane, I actually charge every other day. So that means I can go between 27 and 30 miles of range. And you're probably thinking like, Ivan, what the hell, man? If you're getting 30 miles of range just pedaling and chilling, why are you complaining? Well, it really only comes up when I'm doing the group rides. Because, for example, if we're doing an NYC Zooz Club group ride where the ride is starting at Dainese in southern Manhattan, it takes me about 7 miles to get there. The group ride itself will be about 15 miles, and then we'll do another 7 miles home. For the most part, we're going to be chilling on that ride. But there are going to be times in that ride where you're on a road like this, and the fast boys are going ham, and they're flying into the distance, and I kind of want to jump in with them because I have a fast Zooz. Again, I do have to mention that I have completed every single group ride, whether it's 25 or 35 miles on this bike without charging. So it's really more about, man, it sucks having this kind of power but not being able to use it on the longer rides. And number 4 here is gonna be less of a dislike, but more of a fun tip. Over the last couple of years of using the BAC855, I've learned that if you really want to conserve battery, you focus primarily on your throttle. I've been on some pretty long rides on the BAC855 when it was still on my RX, and I noticed that I used up more battery when I was using the pedal assist than when I used my throttle. And I've kind of experimented with that on this bike over the last 1100 miles, and I've noticed the same thing. And my hypothesis here is the pedal assist has a pre-programmed acceleration curve. For example, right now, if you want to accelerate, it's automatically at like 2,500 watts. But if I kind of wanted to just accelerate a little bit here, I can do so gradually with the throttle, just by kind of like finessing it without ever crossing over 1,000 watts. Now, is this just me being that guy with the tinfoil hat on, or the History Channel guy that's just like, aliens? Or it might actually be a thing. Part 4, conclusion and final thoughts. Now the question becomes, Ivan, is it worth it? And would you do it again? Now for me, this is an easy 100% yes, absolutely worth it. I would totally do it again, and I would put it on another bike. Modding has always been a costly hobby that can escalate very quickly. But for me, having the ability to have full control over my build and the way I like my bike, it's absolutely worth it. Now, for those of you that just ride stock and would just prefer to buy a bike that is like, well, for that same price, I could buy a Suron. Cool, go ahead. You know, that's the great thing about being in this PEV space, is you can do whatever the heck you want to do with your own money. Who is it for? It's for people like me that kind of want to take control over that building process and personalize and build their own bikes. I get it. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. So if you want to take on a project and want a nice way to get started with it, the BAC855 is absolutely for you. That is the video, everybody. Thank you for coming along. If you liked it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you found it useful, please consider hyping up the video as well. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about anything, and either I or one of the guys from Handlworks will respond. And if you really like the channel and you want to support us here, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as part of the Ivan Rides family. And with that said, again, thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this little ride through Queens, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out, everyone. Bye.